I went to Gamescom 2025 in Cologne, Germany, and I got some hands-on time with the much-anticipated Project Motor Racing from Straight 4 Studios, using the Giants engine from Farming Simulator. I played the public demo at Giant Software's massive stand on the show floor, which had the awesome 2002 24-hour Le Mans winning Audi R8 prototype with original patina and duct tape, then a private demo at the Project Motor Racing stand in the business area. Now, I would like to say first, if you were at Gamescom this year and got to try the demo in the public area, it is not representative of the experience I had in the private demo. Basically, the force feedback on the Logitech wheel was dialed down to practically zero so that it didn't tear the thumbs off any small children, and the brake pedal felt very numb and unresponsive. I walked away from this initial experience very worried. The game just didn't feel good. The car felt numb and stilted, but it did look nice on the giant curved screen, as you would expect from the developers of Project Cars. Roll on Friday, and I was privileged to be invited to the Project Motor Racing Enclave for a full presentation from the team at Straight 4. This was a much more positive experience, as I learned that this game will not launch into early access. It will release as a fully formed game with online multiplayer and a single player campaign right out of the box. So why is this important? Well, quite simply, I think the early access model used by games like Le Mans Ultimate, Rennsport and Assetto Corsa Evo absolutely kills the excitement of a game's release and rapidly leads to consumer frustration and eventually disenchantment with the game. Look at the current state of AC Evo as an example, launched to a load of hype and promises, and the game has just fallen flat on its diffuser. Personally, I bought it at launch and haven't really dabbled much, as the AI is frankly terrible and the handling is just off, if that's the right term. Don't get me wrong, some titles have gone from strength to strength after early access. Just look at Le Mans Ultimate, for example, from 397 Studios, which has recently reached version 1.0. Absolutely superb game with great tracks, cars and online multiplayer. My current sim of choice. It has a very narrow remit, concentrating on the FIA World Endurance Championship, which it does very well, but it is still lacking a decent single player experience, though that is promised to be arriving soon. Then again, where is Rennsport? I haven't seen or heard anyone playing it or featuring it on YouTube and other social platforms. Anyway, back to Project Motor Racing, and it will launch with a full single player experience, including a brutal survival mode where you must manage your race team as well as drive your racing car, with the caveat that if you crash or run out of money, it's game over for your career. I really like this idea, as it will make you think like a real racing driver. Do I go for the small gap on the last lap to grab second place and the money that goes with it, but potentially suffer a race and possible career-ending crash? Or do I settle for third, less money and prestige, but I do get to go racing next weekend? I think this one innovation is what I am most looking forward to, though given my track record of crashing out spectacularly on the first corner of the first lap, it might not go well for me. So, what does the Project Motor Racing package include? On launch day, a raft of very diverse racing machinery, from the iconic 1970s Le Mans winning Porsche 917 right up to the crazy modern day Aston Martin Valkyrie. There will also be a load of less well known but no less iconic cars from manufacturers like TVR, Saleen, Panos and Lister. These cars cover a large array of differing motorsport classes, from the 1990s GT1s to the current GT4 and GT3s, all the way up to the LMDH monsters. The game will include 18 scanned tracks from the full Nordschleife, Green Hell to Zolder, Spa, Bathurst and Kyalami, amongst others. The map we saw also showed 3 British circuits which were not named, but from my limited knowledge of the UK's geography, I would guess they are Silverstone, Donington Park and my favourite circuit, Brands Hatch, with its awesome Paddock Hill Bend. Now, I am a VR content creator, so I did ask if there will be support for virtual reality from launch, and I was told it is a priority and that it would be included in the launch window. So we may not get VR on day one, but it is coming, and given that Project Cars 2 had an excellent VR mode that looked very good, even on limited hardware, I am very excited for this feature. Okay, let's move on to my hands-on time with the game. I turned up early for my appointment and got chatting to one of the software engineers and had my first proper go on the sim rig. The wheel was an 11 Newton meter Logitech DD wheel with matching pedals, a pair of Turtle Beach headphones, and showing on a huge curved screen running on a PC which I assume was high-end as the visuals were pretty stunning. I drove an Aston Martin GT3 and then the Audi R8 prototype that I mentioned earlier on the Nürburgring sprint track with its very awkward first corner chicane, which you can see me spectacularly on nearly every lap. Force feedback was strong and full of detail. I could tell the difference between the front engine DBR9 and the mid-mounted V8 of the Audi. Braking felt strong, but I don't know if it was the pedals, which differ significantly from my Fanatec CSLs, but it lacked the incredible detail of Le Mans Ultimate's brakes. I will hold my final opinion until I can get hands-on with my own setup, as braking can be a very personal thing. All in all, I came away very impressed with the feel and strength of the force feedback, so to me that's half the battle won. Graphically, the game looked very bright, sharp and detailed. The tracks looked very nice, definitely up to modern sim standards. I was playing using the in-cockpit view, and the inside of the cars looked nice with all the details and small features you would expect, like a working Motec style display. Again, as a VR creator, I will have to hold my opinion on the graphics until I try it out in headset, but currently things are pointing in the right direction, especially given Straight 4 Studios' track record with virtual reality. Audio is very important when it comes to sim racing, and I have to say it was absolutely fantastic. The engine noise in both cars was loud, deep, and sounded very authentic, especially the grumbling, angry sounding V12 in the Aston Martin DBR9. Ambient sounds like the whine of the diff, trackside rumble strips and tortured tyres all sounded very nice, and I came away with a good feeling for the audio. I ended up having 3 10-minute runs in the sim rig and was starting to dial into the handling of the different cars I tried, and basically my worries over the public demo I tried were just washed away immediately. So, in conclusion, Project Motor Racing is shaping up to be a fully formed, engaging and well-judged sim racing game which will launch without early access nonsense and with a full suite of options to suit single and multiplayer sim enthusiasts. The game has a November 25th, 2025 release window, and if the devs can also shoehorn the VR support in as well, this is a day one purchase for me. I am very excited for this game and can't wait to live out my Steve McQueen Le Mans fantasy from the iconic 1971 film. As always though, what do you think? Are you a sim racing nut looking for a deep single player campaign? Are you excited for the online multiplayer, or have all these endless sim racing games left you jaded? You know the drill. Get involved and comment down below. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. The algorithm loves the likes. If you love this content, please join my channel membership like these lovely people did. You get custom badges, emojis, and early access to most of my content. If you want to watch more content from me, please click here or here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side.